Let's get some people in here. Let me go ahead and hit that refresher. The refresher. Giveaway running. What up? Let me see. Live. Welcome in, guys. Hey. I'm wondering why it is so off. So if you're watching on YouTube, it is called Ben's from Home, Carhartt, Gymshark, Patagonia, Lululemon, and Figs. Why it's called that, I don't know, because that is not the name. Also, we just got a huge... What's up?
What's up, brother? How we doing?
Good, good. It's multicasting on YouTube, but for some reason it says Ben's from Home, Carhartt, Gymshark show, so that's fun. I'll figure that out. I'll go ahead and figure that out in post.
That's what they say. In post, we will get that all straightened out. How's the fam, man?
Doing well. Yours?
Healthy and happy. We had a rough morning, but it's the middle of the day and now it's heading in the right direction.
As long as it only happened this morning and it's moved on. We got a big game today. Going for 7-0 undefeated, the only team. Yep. 8 of our 12 players have been selected for All-Stars, so we're doing something right.
It's got to be the coaching.
I mean, I didn't want to say it. I wanted someone else to say it, but
Drew, thanks so much for the tip, Drew.
Thank you. I'm not cocky. I'm confident. But guys, right now the giveaway is running for our brand new Flip the World Chunky Unicorn keychains. You can win one before you can buy one. Made by Pat Dees, who I have to give a public apology for apparently because I called him a scammer. Just because the tracking showed that there was no tracking information. I'm like, dude, you sent me a fake tracking, but they did arrive. So shout out, guys. Get it in the giveaway right now. Also, very special day for Secret Sauce, guys, as we debut the official Secret Sauce hot sauce. Now, you've had the rest. It's time for the best. So I personally have not even tried it. I wanted to wait and have the moment with all of you. I'm trying to get all this done in the first 5 minutes so we can get to business. I'm not good at opening things nicely, so let's see if I can do this without looking too much like a caveman.
Oh, I love it.
That's a good label. That's a good label. All right, guys, ooh, it doesn't have the little hairy tornado. This is straight to the dome. I did bring one chip. Now it's a 7 out of 10, so let's see what we got.
I can't wait to try it.
Yes, sir. We got habanero and the Naga Jolica chili peppers, carrot, sugarcane, salt, onion, lime, and garlic. Made in Texas. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. We do have 10 bottles available. We're gonna decide it for the first 10. We're gonna run them as batched as well. On that end, on you, I'll just behind the scenes, I'll just say it. I'm gonna just CC you on the email with our contact there.
Yep.
And then that way we can both just hit them up and order directly.
Love it.
And we can just build this bad boy. Whew. Yeah, it's got a nice little afterburn. All right, here guys go.
Who's gonna get the first bottle? The very first official. This is gonna be history right here.
First bottle.
Be history.
First bottle. I'll throw in a keychain. I'll throw in a keychain. First bottle.
The very first ever bottle of Secret Sauce. This is history in the making right now. History, baby.
Look at this.
Oh my dear Lord.
Guys, get the first bottle.
No, you get a brand new one. You get a brand new bottle. Oh, Riddle Bug. Let's go.
Riddle Bug. First purchase is the bottle, and I'll throw in a keychain. And don't worry, I'll put it $51. Let's go.
Riddle Bug.
Take that, Harry Tornado.
Remember the name. Remember the name, Riddle Bug. You got the first ever Secret Sauce hot sauce.
And you know what? Just because you went above and beyond, I'm going to throw in one of my infamous from the bottom of my heart.
I didn't know you were throwing in a photo like that. I would have been.
You're getting a from the bottom of my heart.
Oh my God, Riddle Bug, you're the best. Thank you so much. That's absolutely amazing. We got 9 more bottles that we will do throughout the stream. Absolutely.
Let's go. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, so the afterburn, it has a nice little after. Hold on. Sorry, she's about to get in the car. Let me turn off my Bluetooth. There we go. I don't want her to connect to me. All right, cool. And Brenda's deals, you just won the Flip the World keychain. Those just came in yesterday as well. Guys, let's get to it. Another episode. If you're on YouTube, welcome. Sorry you're watching it on the weird one. I don't know why. I'll fix that, but welcome as well. We got some questions from Instagram, and then what do you guys just day to day? What is going on in the business? I've seen a lot of content coming out lately outside of your
Yeah,
home.
I'm trying to scratch that itch. You know, we for those of you that don't know, Chris and I have been chopping it up for years, and you know, we talk behind the scenes. What's up, Pat D's? We talk behind the scenes. We're both supporting our families by full-time reselling on Whatnot. And so we're always talking strategy together. And you know, what do you think about this new tool that Whatnot dropped? What do you think about this, you know, selling format? And so I guess the moral of the story is what we're always doing is we're trying different stuff. We're seeing seeing what works, what doesn't. The goal always is make enough money to support the family, make enough money so you never have to say no to something because of money, but do it in a very healthy, repeatable, predictable, profitable way. Because what you know, we were actually just talking about this the other day. We don't want to be working 23 hours a day. Then it defeats the whole purpose of us being full-time resellers. And so we're always trying to create efficiencies. And we tested a few things this morning in this morning stream. Some of them went well, some of them didn't. The last thing I'll say, and then we'll dive into some questions, is we track everything. So instead of basing our decisions on emotion, because sometimes I'm like, oh my God, that stream went amazing and we didn't make as much money as I thought. Or I'm like, oh my God, that stream was horrible, but we made more money than I thought. We go by the data and try to take emotions out of it. I think that's something that people can take home because emotions will mess with your head. Like this morning, I didn't think the stream went very well. But then when we ran the numbers, you know, we figured out what our actually net profit was. And we were like, oh, okay. In 2 hours, we made more money than we thought we did. So take the
Yeah,
emotion out of it.
Two things that I learned really fast once we went full time is part-time resellers. It's easy because you have other income helping support, but once it's all on the line full time, two things that I learned that'll mess you up as a full-time reseller on any platform is comparing yourself to others and not and numbers don't lie. If like you said, you thought you had a bad show, but numbers don't lie. You didn't have a bad show.
Right.
So numbers don't lie, and comparison is the thief of joy, or whatever that fancy term is. But those two things will get people caught up because what happens is a lot of people they find out about reselling through social media, through YouTube, through Whatnot streams, things like that, and then they just try to copy, replicate without and or oh man, this person's doing this much, I need to be doing this much, and we're all guilty of it at times. I see people doing things, and I'm like, man, they weren't doing that 5 months ago. But then my brain's like, well, obviously they've clicked on something, they're tracking the work, they're doing it. Um,
Yeah.
and one of the things that we had talked about was you had mentioned the new I'm just calling it the color wheel thing because that's how you described it to me.
Yep.
Pat Dees, you missed your formal apology if you got here late, but I did give you one. And so there's always new features that need to be checked out on Whatnot, whether or not they're going to work for you or not.
Yep.
Depends. And there's other things like I've always manually entered a description live at the bins, but now that we've switched to the random pull format, I'm trying to figure out how I can streamline that more, which now I'm going to curated shows and numbered hanger system. And so far, we've only done that 1 week. So I'm not saying that the beta test is over and it proves that it works faster. But I think for the rest of this in the first half of May, we're going to keep doing this and see if the curated shows is gonna ramp it up. So like yesterday, we had a bunch of T-shirts that we could have run, but we're saving them for an all T-shirt show that's going to be either tomorrow or Thursday.
Yeah. And I like what you the way you evaluated it too, is because just one sometimes people message us and they're like, hey, I ran a live stream, it didn't go well, Whatnot doesn't work. And
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, listen, I understand you're frustrated. I've been in your exact situation. How long did you stream for? And they're like, well, I streamed for 8 minutes, and no one was saying anything in the chat. And then yeah, I decided to get off. And I was like, all right, well, we might have to give it a little more at bat than 8 minutes. But also, I don't want you to stream for 7 hours and have no sales. So like, you
Yep.
got to put in the time to really test some stuff out. But like, if it's really not working, it's time to try something different.
Yeah, and see, somebody just said, I think we think you guys never have trial and error. Well, if you've been watching either one of us for a certain amount of time, you kind of know what our day to day whatnot stream is like. So
Yep.
if it ever looks different, or if we announce like, hey guys, we're trying this, that's kind of letting you know publicly like, hey, what we're doing, you are part of a beta test we're doing right now. And I know that we for sure have been telling people that ever since we switched over to Good Fare. We're like, hey, you might see some things that you've never seen. We're trying to figure out what's going to work, because at the end of the day, we now have access to an unlimited inventory, but that doesn't mean that the same 24 hours in a day don't exist. We have to figure out how we can maximize what we're doing in the same amount of time. So we definitely have trial and error, and I make notes either in my head, or I'll try to remember like the timestamp so I can go back on the replay and be like, okay, hey, this is when I was talking about this, to try and to figure out, okay, well, I didn't like the way this show went. I didn't like this system. I want to try this different one. And then now that we've brought on a shipper, I have to think for them and me, because I want to make sure that they're going to be able to do the work without having to blow up my phone, or, hey, I wasn't able to find this, or because that falls back on me, the teacher. If I'm not explaining it, if I'm not numbering it correctly, color code, whatever I'm doing, I'm setting someone now that I'm paying up to fail, which causes more work on my shoulders that I'm trying to alleviate.
Yeah. And the way that we've done that in the past too is simplifying everything. When we simplify stuff for ourselves, it's easy to explain and guide people and coach people on how to do it. If it's complicated for you, it's going to be almost impossible. Harley, thank you so much.
Thank you,
That's
Harley.
super kind, Harley. Shout out to Harley. It's super. If it's complicated for you, it's going to be extremely complicated to try to teach someone else how to do it. And so, what we're always trying to do, especially on Whatnot, is simplify everything. One thing I want to say with respect, kind of piggyback what you just said, Chris. Also, personal perspective. It's funny sometimes people will say, I saw this other streamer sell, hundreds of items. I only sold 20. And then these are DMs that we're getting, and I'll say, well, how much do you normally sell in a day?
Yeah,
And they're like, well, I've never ever had a day where I've sold 20. And it's like, wait a minute. So you just had your personal best day ever, and
and
you're
you're
saying it
complaining.
wasn't good enough. So you got to have this personal perspective. You can learn from other people, but um, learn from them and then build upon what you did yesterday. It's the classic, you hear this
Yep.
all over social media, just like don't compare yourself, but also do better than you did yesterday. And perspective is key. I falter into this a lot because I'm very hard on myself. Where like I said this morning, I didn't think the stream went as well because we've had these monster streams, right? Like the adrenaline's pumping, you have this monster stream, and then the next day you have a really, really good stream, but it wasn't the monster. And
Yeah.
you're like, it's different adrenaline, there's endorphins that are hitting differently. And I got to realize that a lot more in my life because I'm like, we should be having a monster day every single day, but
Yeah.
that's just not how it
Well,
works.
one of the things that I also like to tell people, especially if they're from my streams in this, is you guys know that I wear my emotions on a sleeve. If I'm having a bad day, you will know about it, and I know that it's nothing you guys did. It's just that's just my personality is everyone. I don't know how to if I'm not good at keeping my emotions inside. So and that day there was one a day. Yeah, yeah. It's usually Stacy, guys. Um, I still the work still has to be done. Bills have to be paid. Work has to be done. Um, but what happened was, I was crabby in a show last week, and it was our best show of the week. And so I'm sitting there looking at the analytics, and I'm like, man, you were upset about some stupid stuff, and you had the best show. Imagine if you were in a better mood, you probably would have had an even bigger of of a show.
Oh
Um,
man, I love that.
so, guys, don't think for any second that even people that are quote unquote successful on here don't have days, you know? Um,
That's the whole
and trust
game.
me, I track it. I track. I'm like, all right, I was in a bad mood. I still had a great day. So imagine what, then I kind of kick myself. I'm like, man, you could have had an even better day if you'd have been in a better mood.
One thing that gets me too is sometimes because you guys can all see us right now. We can
Yep.
never see people in the chat, like physically see them. So a lot of the times there can be misinterpretation through text, and people are texting in the chat, and sometimes I misinterpret. And we had this funny. Lindsay's really good at understanding what people actually mean when they're texting. Yo, Drew. Drew, all I gotta do is mention Pennsylvania, Drew, and you've seen me in person. But sometimes I misinterpret the text, and the other day I drastically misinterpreted someone. I thought they came into the chat and were telling me and everyone else that their kid was choking, and I was like, I flipped out because I was like, why are you in my chat telling, like, go take care of your kid? If your kid is choking, you need to take care of your kid. Why are you coming up? And I went
Yeah.
off, but that's not what they were saying at all. I guess I had missed a bunch of comments where they were talking about some other ailment that was happening. And so what am I trying to say? Sometimes there can be misinterpretation when you can't physically see someone. So if you take the higher road as much as you can,
Yeah.
and try to see the good in the situation, it always leads to better. Or just say, I'm going to kick you out of my stream so you can go take care of your child.
Yeah, for sure. So I already saw some of the questions. Just so you guys know, I do write them down when I see them come through. If you do it with the question mark, it makes it in yellow, so then I know I can grab it. But one that I just want to get to, it's super easy on my end. I don't know if you have a different response, but shipping unlimited was asking about insurance for self-employed. Healthcare.gov. I mean,
Yep.
unfortunately, that's your option. Unless you know somebody in the business, that's your option. You go through there, and then every time re-enrollment comes through, you go through and try and find a better plan, a cheaper plan, whatever you want to do. That's the best thing you
And
can do.
we do the same thing, healthcare.gov, and then we live up in Maine, and so when you go through healthcare.gov, there's an additional like extra site that you can go through that's local domain that provides you with all the stuff. And we did that before we started having kids, and we thought, okay, we're gonna pay a tremendous amount of money heading into our first child and all that, and of course you pay more, but you don't have to go to work every day. You don't have to ask permission. I understand you can get great healthcare options, but that's almost like a dangling carrot in front of people to
Yep.
work at a business for 60 years. Don't worry, we'll cover part of your, healthcare plan. It's worth it to pay a little bit more to, have the freedom that we have, and the
100%.
accountability that we have. And so, but that's the long answer. The short answer is we do the same thing, healthcare.gov.
Yeah. Blue Sapphire, thank you for watching my videos. I don't make a lot, but thank you when you guys watch them. Thank you. The other thing that the businesses or jobs will dangle in front of your carrot in front of you is that 401k match, which guys, if you pay, it's $60 a year or $5 a month on Robinhood. If you sign up an account there, I don't get paid to tell you this. They'll give you 4% match. That's for nothing. You just contribute and they'll match it. Or you can do the free one and they'll match you 1%. That's still somebody matching you for self-employed 401k. So there's you can get both healthcare and you can get somebody to match you without having to go out and get a job. It is available. Yeah, or just
Yeah.
don't get sick. Don't get vaccinated and don't get sick. What did he just say? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, and I get it. I get why people are like, it's scary until it's not. Then you're like, oh wait. Once I went through and figured it out, and here's my monthly, like, it's everything's scary until you figure it out, and then it's not
Yep.
scary at all.
Yeah, it's just like I was actually talking to Pat Dees yesterday, and he was like talking about investing, um, like a self-employed 401k. He's like $500. If you could do $500 a month, the easiest way you do it is you just I can't afford 500 with what I'm doing already. He's like, you just have one show a month, and that show, all the earnings go into that.
Yeah,
Boom, done. That's just one
we
show.
and I love this too. I don't know much about investing, but we have an investment account for the kids,
Yep.
and it's your classic boring S&P 500 ETF
Same.
VU, and we put $1,000 a month into that, and we
Yep.
just don't look at it. We just don't. It's 30, 40, 50, 60 years down the road when the kids are getting older, and again, this is not advice, but just we're sharing what we've been doing.
For sure.
Over time, the compounding and the market going up and down. Now, everyone's going to be like, yeah, the market's going down right now because there's some squirreliness going on. But that's like the whole game. It goes up and
Set it
down,
and
up and
forget
down.
it.
But traditionally, it's always gone up.
The S&P's never gone below 10%. I'm sorry, 9% increase. So
Right.
either way. And then I think the current numbers are. This is something I track regularly because I'm a nerd about numbers. If you and I when I say this out loud, I know a million people are like, "Oh, well, it must be nice to have $7,000 available when your kid's born." But if at birth you create one of those IRA accounts for your kid, put 7 grand in it, never add another dime. By the time the kid is old enough to retire, they're millionaires. You'll be dead and gone, but your kids are a millionaire. That's all it takes. 7 grand at birth, and you never touch it, and your kid will be a millionaire. That's
Yeah.
it.
I love it.
So
I love
if you
talking
can't
about this
have
stuff.
7 grand, if you can't have 7 grand at birth, just break it down. Okay, well, I wanted to have that 7 grand by the time they're 5 years old, and then boom, break it down by month. All you need is 7 grand, and your kid's set for life. That's all it
That's
takes.
that's only 1,100 Starbucks coffees. It's like just slow down on the Starbucks.
Bro, I know. If they'd stop sending me rewards. God.
Yo, the grilled cheese is amazing. I'll pay $35 for one grilled cheese from Starbucks.
Hey, they're really sucking me in with the spicy falafel wrap because it is vegan.
Oh,
They're like,
dude.
"Have you tried our spicy falafel?" And I was like, "Oh, I can't eat you guys' stuff because it's usually got dairy and I'm vegan." They're like, "It's actually vegan." I was like, "You son of a bitch!"
Oh my dear. Yo, let's do another secret sauce right now. Let's
Let's
let it
do
rip.
it.
Guys, we got this is the official launch. Riddlebug is the forever first person to ever buy a secret sauce, hot sauce. We're gonna do another one right now.
Should I sudden death it or just let it run?
Just let it run. Just let it
Boom.
run. Secret sauce. Let them know. It's a 7. It's a 7 out of 10.
It's a
Mango
7 out of 10.
habanero.
I'm still perspiring a little bit. It's got a nice after kick, guys. It is made here in Texas. We found a local. We listened to the podcast. We found a local, and this bad boy this is the first batch. We got 10 bottles. That's it.
We only got this
Oh,
is
I'm sorry. We
number
only have
2.
9. We
Yeah,
only have
so
9
this is we
bottles.
only have 9, including this one. And these are that Riddle is official. Riddlebug is the official forever first person
Forever.
Hall of Fame already. Shopping. My problem right now is I have a lot of inventory. I need more
K-Way, take
storage.
it too.
Yo, legend! Taking down number 2. K-Way, thank you so much. Guys, right now, as we celebrate K-Way, go follow Stream. Actually, I was talking about you this morning, K-Way. Polo Ralph Lauren. If you're looking for Polo Ralph Lauren, brand new, go check out that man right there.
And one thing that I chat with K-Way as well, and he actually sent somebody that's doing what we're getting into, and he was like, "Hey, watch and take notes." So I've actually been in all of their shows, and actually I started chopping it up with the guy in the DM, and he's like, "Yo, I love you guys' podcast. I would love to come on sometime,
Beautiful.
or
Love
just
it.
be interviewed." And I was like, "Hey, man, I'm currently taking notes from you right now on what you're doing." So. Guys, you can find motivation and inspiration everywhere. The other thing, whenever you watch the old videos of people getting into reselling, tell people what you do. I just started just blabbing it to everybody. Hey, this is what I'm trying to do. This is what I'm trying to get to. This is where I want to be. And then all of a sudden, people are like, "Hey, I kind of do that. You should. This is what has been working for me." And I just kind of put it all together in a pot and try it out.
Yeah, absolutely. Someone is asking, saying they had a ton of inventory. They're buying better now, but they need more storage. And so there's a lot of red flags that go off there for me. And I want
Yeah,
to answer that real quick. If you have a ton of inventory and you're continuing to buy more, but your question is, how do I store it more?
you're not selling
You,
enough.
you don't have a storage problem. You have a selling problem, and we're resellers. So if you've made a bad decision, or if for whatever reason the market's not enjoying that inventory, you got to figure out a way to turn that into cash, because the decision you make today on inventory is better than you made yesterday. And having stuff sit around in a storage unit is only hurting your business. Now, on Whatnot, there's a couple things you can do. You can liquidate that by running dollar auctions and just turn it into cash. Be very careful if your long-term goal is to sell on Whatnot when you get better inventory, if you're going to liquidate not good inventory, because basically you're going to build a following that is buying stuff that is, as you're
Not good.
proving, not good.
Yeah.
And then when you get the better inventory, it's going to be a lot harder to sell it, because you're going to want, a better price point for that. So you can liquidate it to other resellers that are selling on other marketplaces. You can you got to turn it into cash. You cannot. I do not recommend. I've seen so many people that have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 storage units, and then they're for some reason they think that that's not negative.
Yeah.
It's like it's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, and see, that's another thing is like when I talk to people and they're like, "Oh, you're a reseller." I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "You have a death pile." I'm like, "I have no inventory. I don't have anything. I literally got rid of all of it. I sell it. That's the whole point. Is I don't want to have the inventory." And I know a lot of people. I just saw somebody say it. They're like, "Oh, eBay is slow. eBay just raised their final value fee." And I mean, this is we talk about whatnot on here as far as like what I would say about other platforms if you're seeing slow sales or you're is maybe come to whatnot or try and you're going to have to keep up with the market that you're selling on. So like
Yeah.
if you sell on eBay, you got to live and die by the sell through rate. That's just how it is. That's what that platform is created for. You have to live and die by those sell through rates, and if you're not seeing sales on there, then that means the stuff that you're selling is no longer have a high sell through rate or it's not relevant currently. It's an off season for those items. But definitely don't try and just come on here and sell your junk, because then when you start getting good stuff, like he said, everybody's going to be like, wait, where's the dollar starts? I can't afford $12 starts.
Oh yeah, or you're gonna think just because you think the inventory is better, you're gonna build a following that's used to paying $1 to $5 on items when now you need them to pay 20, 30, 40 on the item. But if you do a dollar starts, they're gonna be like, well, this is the place to get stuff for $5. So why would I go higher than that?
Yeah.
How you build your relationships is how you're going to continue to build. Now you can make pivots. I've made pivots. When we first started, we did used shoes, and then we pivoted to brand new shoes on whatnot, and that took a little time and effort. It's almost like an entirely different business on whatnot. And then we went from all brand new shoes to all brand new apparel, and then it was like everyone's like, wait, where are all the shoes? Where are all the shoes? And then we had to slowly kind of build right back up to the following that was expecting the apparel. So give yourself some grace and time when you are making transitions when you're on whatnot. But don't be surprised if you're hawking a bunch of junk
Yep.
and then you move to better inventory. It You got to be
There's going to
careful
be,
with that.
you're hawking junk to junk buyers. And then when you
Yeah,
have good products, the junk buyers are going to be like, well, I can't afford that. I'm a junk buyer.
right.
But yeah, somebody said take time to condition your buyers. That's a much nicer way than what I've always said, which is I'm
Wait, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Wait, I lost audio. Can you guys still hear him? No volume. We lost audio. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? Oh, you can hear me, but
sorry.
we can't.
It was my post office person.
All right,
Can
there
you
we
hear
go.
me?
You're back. You're back.
Yeah, it was my post office person.
You
Hopefully they
guys
call
should have heard what
Stacy.
he just
Stacy, I
said. It
hope
was
they
the
call
best.
you.
It was the best.
What was I saying? I was a lot of cuss words, so that's why it blurred me out. No, what was I saying? I already forgot. Diversify.
Vintage, vintage vixen. Yeah, you can absolutely do that. Put it in your title. You can have like a t-shirt day one day. You can have a shoe show the other day. And actually, with respect, if you're just starting out, listen, we sell a lot of different stuff throughout our stream. It's very difficult to sell a lot of different types of stuff in one single stream. If you're just starting out, you're trying to build momentum, you're trying to build a following, having one singular category, like you're saying, all t-shirts one day, is way easier to make more money quicker.
hundred
And
percent.
so it's without question whether you're seasoned or brand new. And we're testing. We've kind of gotten pulled into a lot of different directions, and that's my fault. But we're trying to continue to back up and simplify everything.
This is only our second week into doing that style, and I can 100%, 100,000,000 Brazilian tent tell you that it is so much easier, not only on my brain, but as
Yeah.
far as curating your shows, as far as the off-air issues that you have to deal with. So, like our T-shirt show, we sold 280 T-shirts. All of them were 12 to 15 ounces, so that means one category. All of them are the same weight, and they're all on numbered hangers, and there's no duplicates because it's 1 to 300. So it makes it super easy for the shipper because they only have to pull the numbers that are sold. And I was able to run all of those in 3 hours, which I've never been able to sell that much in that short of amount of time. So the prep before the show took about an hour, and then the aftercare, they were still able to get the shipping done in under 3 hours. And this is only their first official week doing shipping, and they only had one question for me. So,
Yeah.
and you can start training your customers again when we're talking about, I'm sorry, conditioning your customers. If you start doing that regularly, like, hey, every Wednesday is t-shirt day, and then the people that want to buy t-shirts show up, and the people that don't want to buy t-shirt don't show up. Like I was doing tapestry shows in the morning from 9 to 10:45 because I didn't want to mix the tapestries in with my clothing, because then I have to have a completely separate rack. It creates
Yep.
chaos for shipping. The weights are different. It's all. Did I preload? Yes, we preload the show, but we do random pulls. So it just say random pull T, 12 to 15 ounce, number 1 through 300.
Yeah.
That's it. And then I just have the hanger has number 1 on it. I show you the item, you win it. I put it back in order. If it doesn't sell, like if I run number 1 and no one bids on number 1, then you have 2 options. You either have a pile of replacements, or you lower the price and run it again. So I lower the price, run it again. If no one buys it, I take it off the hanger, I put on a different shirt, and I go. But I can't pass that number until it sells. So that's what I'm doing now.
Yeah, someone was asking about doing random pulls, and you have a pair of socks and a jacket. This is we mentioned this earlier and on past episodes. Make sure you guys are following the Secret Sauce Pod YouTube channel. You can watch the replays for free on all of these. You can't do socks and a jacket in the same listing.
Unless you
So
bundled it as a bundled listing.
right. Well, so if you like run the socks, you have to have a different listing for the jacket right after. This is
Yes.
what Chris had mentioned this. This is why when you have similar weighted items, that's where you can really build the speed. And this is where you might have to separate between shows.
Yeah, so you would have like a sock show and then a jacket show. Because what's going to happen is if you want to run everything, like yesterday we did a mix show just because we didn't have enough to curate. So we had 2 categories. We had a 12 to 15 ounce category, and we had a 1 to 2 pound category. I have a shelf for 1 to 2 pounds, and I have a hanging system for the 12 to 15 ounce. And so what happens is as the item sold, it went on it was 12 to 15, it was numbered on that. And if it wasn't, I've already written out, instead of buying them on the roll, the labels, the thermal labels, the 1x2 thermal labels, I buy them on sheets of 30, and then I number them before the show. I just go up to 100 because I anticipate selling 100. And then when the 1 to 2 pound item sells, I just pull the number on, slap it on, and I put it in its shelf in the order bucket.
Boom. Is your goal to sell one item in the first show, even if you lower the price? So I'm not sure exactly what you mean, Saved by Noah, but yes, the goal should be sell one item and in your very first show, if that's what you're saying. I don't know what you mean by lower the price. Don't sell stuff at a loss.
Never,
Do
ever,
not
ever,
sell
ever.
stuff at a loss just to like build a following, because all you're doing is building a following
Of
that wants you to
losers. Oh.
like. And listen, this is what's crazy. People will be so friendly with you in the chat if you're selling like amazing stuff for super low. You could
Yep.
be losing so much money, and they'll be like, "Oh my god, you're the best! I can't wait! Like, I'll bookmark your stream for tomorrow. Like, if you're gonna sell all this stuff for like $8 or less than $20, even though you paid 25, 30 for it, oh, you're amazing." And
Yep.
then you just get absolutely smoked.
Yep.
And
So what you're doing is you're creating a fake friend, and you're not putting milk in the fridge. And when,
your
guess what?
your
When you
kids
need
don't mind.
milk, when you need milk, that friend's not going to give you any. They're going to be like, "Where's your dollar starts?"
No, it's crazy. I've had people, they don't think, sometimes people will DM me and they're like, "Listen, I'll buy 100 hoodies." And I'm like, "All right, they're $39 each." Because I do $39 starts.
Yep.
And they're like, no, but I'm going to buy 100. Can I get them for $10 each? And I'm like, absolutely not.
No. Yeah.
Like,
Good luck. Yeah.
I'll sell you $3,900 and I'll sell you 100 hoodies.
Luckily for us, we don't have a lot of people that pop into our stream. You're like, started at $1, started at $1. When we do, I just let them know, like, hey, I don't do dollar starts because this is how I pay my bills, and I have kids, and they're more important than you. Sorry that you feel that $1 starts. I just roast them real quick, and then we keep moving.
Yeah, I love it. Let's do it. I'm excited. Let's do another bottle. Let's do another bottle.
Hey, you tell me when to run them, because my brain
right.
doesn't even remember that I'm running stuff today.
Guys, this is the first day that we're launching the actual secret sauce. Mango habanero. It's a 7 out of 10. It's up for grabs right now. This is only the third bottle we've ever sold ever.
And whoever was asking about randoms, you see how it says random? It says secret sauce first batch number 3. So this is the third bottle.
Third bottle. We only had 10 in this initial batch. You guys are Riddlebug's the legend. K-Way got number 2, and now who's gonna get number 3? This is that. This you guys have been literally DMing both of us saying, "Hey, it's called the Secret Sauce Podcast. You should get some secret sauce." And then I was like, "I don't know anything about hot sauce. Let me talk to the absolute pro."
Boom!
Yo,
Caleb Stills!
Caleb taking down number 3. Let's go,
Guys,
guys. Make sure you
we
follow
are going
Caleb.
to sell. We are going to sell all that we have available on this stream. So if you haven't got one, on a scale of 1 to 10, how hot? It's a 7 out of 10. But it's sweet. It's sweet up front, and then it has a little after effect.
My bottle's on the way. My bottle's
Yeah.
on the way. He drank some at the beginning. Like, it's absolutely.
That's really good. And guys, it doesn't have that little what do you call it? No disrespect to Harry's. I actually use Harry's every day, but Harry's has the little safeguard on it. Ours is straight to the dome. No stopper for ours.
Wait. There's no safeguard. I might have to start drinking Harry Tornadoes then. You're the one. You know.
Yeah, I'm numb. Guys, I even have like I love hot sauce. I have the Golden Girls set of hot sauce.
Oh my god, I love it.
I got hot sauce everywhere.
Caleb, thank you so much, Caleb. Appreciate you, man.
Honeybee on Instagram said, when is it time to decide to delegate and what to delegate? So I know you had just made kind of a reel about that. So my answer is easy because we just started delegating. We realized that if I don't delegate shipping to someone else, we're not going to be able to sell more items, which means we're not going to be able to grow. So I was actually shipping was hindering our ability to grow.
Yeah.
Now what to delegate? That one's pretty simple in my brain. Is the stuff that I like to do, why would I give it to someone else?
Yeah. Also, the jobs where there doesn't need to be any type of creativity. So like and I mean this in a very I'm trying to be nice about this. Like, for example, streaming, you got to get creative sometimes, and how you talk to people and how you handle certain situations. It's a lot harder to delegate that to someone else. It's possible, but you absolutely can do it. But shipping is not complicated, which means the people that you hire to ship are going to make more money without the mental real estate and exhaustion, because it's very simple. Take this item, put it in this box, make sure it's carefully folded and put in this box in an efficient manner, and then you can teach that very simply. Back when we were selling on Poshmark, listing, cleaning the shoes, all that stuff is very robotic. Use this, wipe the side of the shoe. Here's exactly the info that I want in the title. You don't want it to be a creative job. And then with respect to what you're saying, Chris, start with the things that you have mastered, but you don't like to do. So if for whatever reason you absolutely love to ship, maybe prep for the next stream might be something that you would move on. Or if you don't like to ship, that's a very, very good one, because it does take a lot of time. Our shipper Lee has been working with us for years. She's absolutely amazing. She can ship hundreds and hundreds of boxes in just a couple hours, and because of that, we can pay her very well. We have the free time to put into other parts of the business, and then we can actually grow. I've seen a lot of people, and we used to try to do it all by ourselves, and then all of a sudden you're like so exhausted because you just sold hundreds of items, but now you got to ship hundreds of items, and then you got to prep hundreds of items for the next stream, and it becomes very, very difficult.
For sure. Two questions. So we got Saved by Noah's Ark asked, so an example of how to process bad inventory. So had some shorts listed for a couple weeks for $20. What's your process of getting rid of them? Start them at $1, whatever. So my follow-up question to your question would be, what was your buy cost on those shorts that you put at $20? So if your buy cost was $4, $5, your buy cost was $8, then I would try and sell them at $8. If it was a bad buy, I would at least try to get my money back and move on.
Also,
Um,
there's a I'll add to that. Sorry, there's a thing called left number bias, where if you list them at 19, it's a way better deal than 20. And listen, I know it sounds silly. It's only $1, but this is in every single industry where they sell everything. It's also there's left number bias, doctors prescribing patients. They did this study. I don't know who they did, but I read about this study where they had a man who was 80 years old. He had turned 80 years old yesterday, and they had another man that was 79 years old that was turning 80 in like a week. So they're basically both the same age, right? They're like a difference of a week. The doctors were prescribing the 80-year-old different than the 79-year-old because the 79-year-old was younger, even though it was literally by a couple days. They do
yeah,
this in car sales. They do this on every single in the grocery store. Something's $3.99. It's not $4. So if you've got it listed for 20, I personally wouldn't list it at 20. I would either list it at 29 or I'd list it at 19
yeah,
because of that left number bias.
for sure. Yeah, so try that. If it doesn't work, at least list it for 9. That way
Yeah.
you're still making something. It's not 8. You're getting something, but move on. But definitely don't take a loss. I mean, worst case, try it on a different platform if it's not working on here in the marketplace or the shows. Trendy Trove asking about mod rules, and then Stacy made all of my mods upset. But they're just asking, like, pick it. When you have people doing mods, do you like give them gifts or anything like that? Do you pay your mods or anything like that?
So we have one mod, and his name's Hunter. He literally came out of nowhere. He was an amazing person. We've had a lot of people that have wanted to mod for us. Oh, he's right there in the chat. So he's an amazing individual. He came out of nowhere. He was very helpful in the chat. He's literally been working with us, I think, for over a year now. And there's no like you get paid per stream. There's no whatever. But here's what we do. If there's ever any inventory that Hunter wants, usually he tries to buy it. And then if I see that he's bidding on something, I'm like, hey, stop bidding. I'll just send that to you for free. Like if we have another one. Or if there's something that he sees that he likes, absolutely. Because he's taking time out of his day. We've never asked him to do it. So he gets free inventory at will because like I said, it's what he does is he pins the sizes available. He answers people's questions as we're going. It helps me tremendously. We also every once in a great while, if people are tipping, what I'll do is I'll match whatever people are tipping and I'll give that to Hunter. So
Oh,
like
nice.
it becomes like a community effort. And again, these are just a few ways that you can give back. Hunter has never complained. He's never asked us for anything ever. And just one day over a year ago, actually it was more than one day, he was in our stream saying, here's what size is up for grabs right now. Here's what this, we didn't ask him to do it. And because he was now listen, Hunter, I know Hunter's in here. I did a little background check, a little deep dive on Hunter too. I was like, I can't just like mod some random person that I don't know. And it turns out he's actually an amazing human being. He's a teacher. He's a family man. I'm not going to spill his beans, on the internet, but I did my background check to make sure that I'm surrounding myself with really good people, and he's an amazing human being and continues to be so. So, but we also don't want Hunter to feel obligated and pressured to be there every single stream.
For
And
sure.
so that's why we have the agreement. If there's any other inventory that you want, it doesn't matter what it is. It could be a jacket, it could be a pair of shorts, it could be whatever. If you see something in your size and you want it, we'll send it to you for free.
Nice. Well, there you go, Trendy Trove. Start sending people stuff. No, I'm just kidding. Sounds like I need to start taking away some mods. No, I'm
Well,
just
hey,
kidding.
listen,
I'm
listen.
just kidding.
This Hunter came into our world over a year ago when I was talking to a lot of resellers much bigger than me on Whatnot, and there was this weird thing happening where random people would want a mod, and then they would come into the back end of the streamers Whatnot and start doing fishy stuff on their account.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
so
I
like
remember
I
that.
was I was like, yeah, I don't want people to mess with the, whatever. That's why I did the background on Hunter, and that's why we trust him. That's also why we don't mod other people. Also, here's what I'll say. It's about how well of a job you do. Hunter crushes. He's very quick. He's very like, hey, I gotta head out. So, I'm getting out of here instead of just randomly ghosting. There's other people that have tried to mod for us without getting the controllers, and they're not putting up the right size that I'm showing. They're putting up,
Yeah,
you know, oh, these are a men's size large hoodie, and I'm like, it's not men's large. Don't put that comment. It's not a men's large, it's a women's extra large. And so he's very good about putting up the right information, which makes it better for our buyers. Other people have just not done a good job with that.
Yeah, most people just want to be mods on my stream so they can read the red dirty words, which is weird because I just read them out loud anyway, so it doesn't matter. Like, I don't
Those
believe in
are,
censoring, so if Whatnot censors it, I read it out loud anyway.
oh my God, I love it. Let's do another
God.
bottle. I'm addicted to the bottle. Let's do it. Guys,
Oh, also
we're
earlier
doing,
you said doo doo, and I wanted to remind you said doo doo.
yo,
Here we go.
it's a 7 out of 10 mango habanero made right there in the beautiful state of Texas. This is our 4th bottle. This is number 4. Grab it. You guys are going to be
Also,
the first.
Hunter, you sound amazing. If I know their streams end in the morning, we usually start at 11. Hunter, if you want to get roasted for absolutely no reason at all, you could definitely come into our stream.
Opal, taking it down, baby! Yo, you guys are amazing. Opal, thank you so much. Guys, make sure you're following Opal Hangar. Such a hardworking family.
Also, guys, Pat D's made me these. He officially missed the formal apology. So we do have keychains now. I'm gonna be putting them in our buy it now. Not today on this stream. This is just a giveaway. Guys, Pat D's is not a scammer. He makes soap dishes for Harry Tornado, and he now makes chunky unicorns, which is what I call my chat. You're all chunky unicorns because we're not allowed to say the F word. But you guys are chunky unicorns, so we do have these. Courtesy of
good.
Pat D's. You can check him out at Print D's Nuts. He put that, not me. So make sure you check him out.
Oh my God. Yo, I didn't tell you this yet, Chris. I got some good news about our hot sauce.
Uh-oh. What do you got?
No, good news.
What do you got?
I got a store that wants to start carrying.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
What?
They want official retail.
No kidding, dude. I'm gonna have to. All right, I'm gonna have to have them add a barcode.
Dude, official retail. I wanted to wait until like
Mama,
official.
I did it, Mama.
Official secret sauce, mango habanero. They want it, and I'll give you the details. Obviously off the stream, but no, we can't quit Whatnot. We can't quit.
Guys,
Whatnot.
also, I don't have any more because I ate them all in one day. But if you get the dill pickle popcorn from Rnzy and you put it, so here's what you got to do, guys. This is my professional way of doing it as a professional obese person. Is you get a gallon, Ziploc bag. You cut the top of the dill pickle. You pour it in there. Then you take hot sauce, you pour it in the bag, you close it, you shake it, and then you've got spicy dill pickle popcorn. Yes, Stacy, stop putting my business out in the chat. Yes, I ate both bags by myself. I didn't share.
Oh my God, that's so good. That's so
yeah,
good.
Guys, you got to buy popcorn and then mix it with the hot sauce. I am going to be buying more dill pickle popcorn.
Yo, let's do another hot sauce. We got 10 total. We've done 4. Let's do another one.
Dude, you just made my day with a store wanting to carry it. Oh my God, it's so awesome. Guys, I changed it to 10 seconds. That's why it went faster. Go.
Wait, you turned your camera around. Guys, this is number 5.
Sorry, you guys were staring at death.
Let's go. Oh my God, it's amazing. Yo, this is based out of Texas, where the actual official.
It's my first show. I'm so nervous.
Fab, taking it down, baby. Fab, you're amazing. Thank you so much, Fab.
We can always ramp up. They have like 14 different sauces. I didn't want to go crazy with the first one and get the 11 out of 10 because I didn't want to try it on camera and my head explode.
Listen, dude, Riddlebug is the Hall of Famer for buying the very first bottle.
Hall of Fame.
Around the world, what you got? What you got?
That's what we're here for.
Oh, I thought it was the F. It's tucking around the world. Okay.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking the other one too. So we've sold how many? 5?
5.
1, 2.
We got 5 more.
5.
We got 5 more.
Bottle. All right, I got your
You guys are
bottle.
amazing. Yeah, if you guys have questions, put them in the comments below. That's the whole point why we're here. It's free. We're going to have the replay on our YouTube channel that's also free. Let's chop it up.
All right, sorry, I'm just making my bottles. All right.
3Gen,
Black
thank you
salt.
so much. That's very kind of you. This is official. We work with the pros to make the hot sauce, and I knew nothing about it. That's why I leaned into Chris's expertise on the hot sauce.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Flash sell. No, I don't want to. I don't want to sell the keychains on here. This is the hot sauce show. But guys, Pat D's is gonna be making more. And if you want him to make stuff, he's got a bunch of 3D printers and knows all that nerd stuff that I don't understand. I don't know how he made these out of a printer, but they're awesome. So make sure you hit him up. He also makes soap dishes for Harold Tomato as well.
Around the world, don't compare yourself to others. Number one. Number two, track everything so that you know what works and what doesn't instead of just guessing. You also, that'll help you know if you're actually profitable or not, and you want to make sure you stop doing what's not profitable and do more of what is. I know that sounds so basic and simple, but sometimes people are like, "Oh, I had a great stream," and I'm like, "How much did you profit?" And they're like, "I have no idea. I have zero idea how much money I just made." You got to know that stuff so you know what's working. So don't compare yourself. Learn from other people. Track everything, and then get enough sleep and drink enough water and drink enough hot sauce so that you can put your best foot forward. If you are dead tired and you are just like exhausted, it doesn't make sense to turn on the camera. Yo,
Pat
of
D's
course.
won his own keychain. That is so dumb, Pat D's. That is
It's
so dumb.
rigged. Oh my god, that's
Wow,
amazing.
Pat D's. That's great.
All right, guess what? Guess
Um,
what's about to happen? Let's do another hot sauce. Pat D's. Let me see you win this hot sauce. Let me
also,
see you win this hot sauce.
to add on to your number, your top three, maybe a 3.5 or a 4 is something you used to always say. It's I don't know how you always say things nicer than me. It's don't hold on to things that aren't working. You don't get
Yeah.
what do you have a saying?
Don't be romantic to what's not working.
There, add that one to the list. Don't be romantic to know what's not working. All right, here we go, guys.
Guess what's working? Hot sauce, baby.
Hot sauce.
Buy your bottle right here. What's this, number 5 or 6? Is this 5?
This is number 6. Pat
Number
D's, if
6,
you need
guys.
it, if you need a number 2, if you need a 2 hot sauce, you got to get the Hairy Tornadoes because it's mostly brown sugar. It's sweet like Josh.
Oh my dear Lord, laugh at life. Going for number 6. Let's go.
Let's go.
Laugh at life. Thank you. Yeah,
Guys,
Mimo,
I'm not gonna I'll tell you business strategy since we're talking about it. All the money made on these hot sauces today, I'm just gonna invest into more hot sauce. We're just gonna
I
get
love
more.
everything you're saying. That makes the most sense. You guys are
Honestly is crazy. I know people don't like them. I don't see how anyone could not like them. But if you apply the Mr. Beast YouTube philosophy to your business will scale very quickly.
Yep.
Every dollar he makes from his videos, he just puts into the next video. All the money that we make when we were buying inventory, we would just put into more inventory. Obviously,
Yeah.
you got to take out for bills, but you buy more. You just double down on what you're doing, and you're scaling.
We get a lot of questions. I'm glad you just brought that up. We get a lot of questions about buying budget, about keeping track of all that stuff. We made it very, very simple. We've got a multiple column spreadsheet, and it's money coming in from streams and money going out for inventory. So we know exactly, and we obviously know our buy cost and all that stuff. So we know how much we're profiting. Then we pull the profit out. Then the rest of the money goes back into a buying budget. Now here's what gets everybody. We don't spend more than what our buying budget is. We have profit so we can pay our bills, like you said. But if we sometimes that means we got to start streaming a little bit more. Sometimes that means we got to try a little bit. We got to sell through it. You can't just pretend like you're making money and the buying budget's getting bigger and spending all this money, because then you're going to have no money and say, hey, I've got all this inventory. No one's buying it. What do I do?
And that's what we have. So Stacy and I, we know what our rock bottom dollar amount that we need each month to survive. Yep. And then we also put in a little bit for oopsies. When you have, when you have a soccer team, there's going to be oopsies. So we know exactly what we need. And then if we hit that 2 weeks in to the month we could be like, hey, you want to take the rest of the month off? Which we don't. So then it's like, okay, well, let's it's grind time now. We can still take some days off, but it's also now we know that the month's covered. So now it's where do you want to grow or where do you want to go? You know?
Yeah, love that.
Um,
Love that.
so that's that. And if you only know where you are, if you're tracking stuff, and guys, I'm not one of those like track every item kind of person. I track numbers, daily amount of shows I need to hit those numbers. And well, I don't track inventory because we have a completely different deal than most people, but I track the stuff that I need to track. So I know a lot of people get crazy and they make these super detailed spreadsheets where everything is done, and then they don't they're like, oh, it's too much. It's too much. I'm like, well, you made it complicated, so that's why you failed at it.
Yeah, you got to simplify. You got to absolutely simplify. Yeah, any excess funds goes to the
Hey,
tax.
to be fair, I am on hold right now for tattoos after this last one. I do have the other side of the head to get, but right now, Stacy has way more available skin, so we're gonna go ahead and start applying. She's gonna get her head tattooed next, so we're shaving that thing. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, listen, I'm sure it would look great. Around the world was asking about sourcing. Now, sourcing, there's two things to this. There's obviously sourcing great inventory, which is a very general statement, but there's also the selling strategy with respect to that sourcing, because what your selling strategy is will dictate how you source and vice versa. You can't just try to find the cheapest stuff and then run it at a dollar, because what happens is you're going to be selling 1,000 items. Maybe sometimes you might lose money on those 1,000 items. Sometimes you might make a little money, but it becomes very unpredictable. So if you're constantly looking for just the cheapest without focusing on what the community actually wants to spend their money on and quality, then it's going to turn into a 23-hour a day business where you're not making a lot of money. It's
For
like a
sure.
lot of labor. So the and there's profitable inventory everywhere. We don't do any pallets. We do all retail arbitrage and a little bit of online arbitrage. So you can walk into a retail store. Think of it this way. Let's say there's a chain like a Nike outlet, right? Nike outlets. How much does each outlet sell? Let's say it's in the millions, every single outlet, and there's outlets all over the country. You can take a very 0.01% of the people that buy at that, and they can sit at home and buy from you that's buying from the outlet. Now you're going to make 5, 10, 15, $20 per item in profit, but now they don't have to go to the outlet. And then of course then you get into, this is what we do, retail arbitrage. Different retail locations have different inventory and they have it at a different price. So this is where the fun comes in sourcing, where you're kind of trying to find the best deals. But um how you sell dictates how you source.
Yep. And another good thing is, especially with the Whatnot platform, is people will pay more for items that they could drive and get cheaper because they want to support you. Because either they're supporting a business that they know where their money's going. They know they're putting milk in Ryan and Lindsay's fridge, and they're helping me not lose my brain and for therapy. Um, and they're willing to pay more because they want to help the support, and they don't have to get out of the car. They don't have to go do it. I mean, people, yeah, exactly. People are buying $50 hot sauce. Um, K-Way also, just so you know, Ryan, K-Way made a comment that because I commented about our show being amazing, and he said that one of us is handsome and one of us looks homeless. And I commented, how dare him talk to you about like that?
I know, because K-Way, I've been homeless. I've
Yeah,
been homeless, and I'm
how dare
trying my
you?
best to get out of it. Okay,
Yeah,
listen,
so
I'm
how
trying to
dare
get
you?
haircuts. I'm trying to figure it out. Over a decade away from my last homelessness, but
We all
listen,
can't just
K-Way,
get drunk on the beach after we have a good show. Okay.
I mean, I tried to. I tried to. I'm 12 years sober, and I couldn't do it anymore. But Kway actually, no, all jokes aside, he said, have you ever been, what was the exact question? Have you ever been banned or limited from the outlets? Here's one thing I want to say, and Pat Dees, thank you for the fact. The average Nike outlet does $34 million in sales, and there's outlets all over the country. We did $1.9 million in sales out of our basement, buying from the outlets and selling to the community. So and I'll tell you this, and then I'll answer your question, Kway. We and our team, I haven't been sourcing in over a year by myself. We have teams that source and then they ship it up to us. But we go to less than 10 locations around the country, and there's over 6,000 of the types of retail locations that we go to. So that's how big this opportunity is. Less than 10 physical stores that we go in, and we did $1.9 million at a 21% profit margin last year. Now, listen, the reason we can do that is because Kway, we follow all the rules. There is bulk buying rules. Sometimes in Nike outlets, the rule is 5 per item, 30 items total per person per day. So sometimes the team can only go in and get 30 items. Sometimes we have teams of 5, 6, 7, 8 people that go into the same store and they can get a lot more because it's 30 items per person. Sometimes the manager will just change the rules and say you can only get 2 items. You just got to follow the rules. And then of course there's other retail locations where there is no limits. So making sure you follow all the rules ensures that your business is always in your control.
And then
And there's
also
always
just going back. Hey, thank you for the raid, AM Jennings. Hope you're in a better mood today. Going back to your top three, if you're tracking everything, if you keep going to one of those outlets and they keep telling you can only buy 2, maybe since you're tracking that, boom, I'm going to take that outlet off my route for a couple
yeah.
weeks, and then we'll come back and we'll see if maybe they've changed. Because guys, a lot of times, and this happened when there was no bins here in Houston, and we actually had to go to physical retail locations to buy our inventory. Managers would know, okay, well, they come every Tuesday in the afternoon, and we get there, and we never asked for them to change prices. If they saw us, they'd start bringing out the stuff that we buy. And then if we go there and then they're no longer bringing it out, maybe the manager changed or they don't have that stuff, we're just like, okay, well, let's skip it for the next few weeks. And then when we show up again, they're like, where have you been? I'm like, oh, well, you got to remind them that you're the customer too. But somebody asked something. I am not a new tag seller. I'm going to say that. So I'm going to answer it with my answer, and then I'll transfer it to Ryan, who does new tag. So tucking around the world. That's funny. Tucking is I don't know if this is a nationwide term, but tucking is a term here in Texas. When a man sits down to pee, we call it tucking. Like, oh, that dude's a tucker. That means he sits to pee. But anyway, what about new tags items? Retail for $149. You buy them for $35. Is it crazy to post and sell them for $125? Now here's my. So I have a question, and then my answer is this: are you able to get those in quantity? Because if you're able to get them quantity, why would you put your price at $125? Me personally, I would put it at like $59, $69, and I would move them. I would move them and just keep buying more to make the most money instead of listing it for $125 and it taking a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks for one to sell. I would sell 20 of them at 69, start them at 69, and just give everybody a deal and move.
Yeah, I love that. We're all talking all about Whatnot, and the real strength in Whatnot is not trying to hold on to one item and squeeze the profit out of it. You want to be profitable, but Whatnot's about speed. It's about getting stuff in, moving, giving people a great deal, having them feel like they got a great deal, and just moving through. Like this morning, like I said, I didn't think the stream went as well this morning, and we sold 150 items in less than 2 hours.
Yeah,
And
I'm
it was
not
like,
good at drawing this out, but I'll try and speak it. Guys, if you buy something for $10 that regularly sells for 100, let's say on eBay, and you sell it but it's going to take you 90 days to sell it. So you're going to get that that $100, but it's going to take you 90 days. If I could sell it for $40 today, reinvest, okay, now I'm already up 30. Think of how much I can roll that money in 90 days. It'll be way more than $100.
yeah.
So that's my opinion. I'd rather, not to steal Dave Ramsey's thing, but I'd rather snowball my profits. Take less now and keep rolling, because in 90 days I can turn that $10 into maybe 20,000. I mean, 3 months I'm averaging 25 to 30,000 a month. That's like $90,000 instead of that $100 to get my max money.
And let me piggyback on that. All those relationships you're building with more people, because when people have a good experience, they'll tell 4 people. If they have a bad experience, they'll tell 400. So like if you can build, a substantially bigger number of relationships on Whatnot, then it's easier to continue to sell.
I did a sleeper to see if anybody was paying attention.
Let's go.
I did a sleeper.
Number 7, bottle number. Dude, I love that. I love that you just did that.
I had to do a sleeper just to see.
Number 7 is going out the door. We only have 10 bottles, guys. We only have 10 bottles on this first batch. Yo,
Boom,
Kaylee.
Kaylee, first purchase.
Let's go, Kaylee. Let's go.
Sorry, guys. Sometimes I just like to do a sleeper. Guys, I think we'll do. Maybe we'll do the last one at a $1 start just for old time's sake.
No. Let's keep it at 9. It's worth 9. It's worth 9.
Guys,
It's
yeah.
worth 9.
So you got to when you come to Whatnot, you need to be thinking about volume, and you have to get rid of the mindset of max dollar.
Right.
Because if you're on here, Whatnot even tells you, if you just go to Whatnot and just read about it, it says that people come to this platform for 30 to 40% discounted on discount. So you're not getting max dollar here. Now you can, obviously, if you build up and people overpay or you get into bidding wars, there are opportunities. We see it all the time on Josh's stream. But you should really start thinking about a volume. How can I get more things, more quality items to sell? Do I have access to the Goodwill bins? Do I want to sell used? Do I want to go into new? Do I want to go to outlets? Do I want to go into pallets? What kind of pallets? Do I know reputable pallet sellers in my area? How much, all of these questions, you have to check all these boxes.
Yeah.
You have to have a game plan. I always tell people, when you come on, before you hit start show, you need a game plan. I know exactly what number I want to hit every time I hit start live for that day. I know what my goal is. I know how many items I want to sell. I know what my average price per item needs to be. I know all of that. And then before I hit start, I'm already ready to go.
Yeah, TN, I like what you said there. TN walking, first of all, is that Tennessee walking horse? TN walking horse?
Tennessee walking horse, yeah.
I was born in Tennessee. That's cool. Kingsport, Tennessee. I don't think about viewers and number, and I respect your question. How long did it take to go from no viewers to substantial number? All I focus on is whoever shows up, how do I take care of them?
Yep.
Now, listen, when I first started, 5 people showed up, 2 people showed up, and I'm like trying to build relationships with them. And then eventually it turned into 10 and then eventually 15. And I think the reason it has grown is because I'm just focusing on who's showing up as opposed to saying, why aren't more people in here?
Yeah, it's the same thing. Like if you go to a restaurant and you're the only customer in the whole restaurant, is that server going to treat you exactly the same as if it was a packed house and they had 40 tables to take care of? You want to just make sure, no matter if there's one person in your restaurant or the whole restaurant's full, it's your job to serve those people in your section.
So imagine the server was sitting over there like, I just wish there was more people in here.
I wish there was more people here so I can make more tip money.
Can I get some iced tea? And no, I'm waiting for more people to get in here before I give you some more iced tea.
Yeah, I need 10 more tables, and then you got that tea.
Yeah. And then consistency. Yeah, I think you don't need to be streaming all day every single day, but I think the basic logic says that the more at bats that you take, the easier it's going to be to stream, the easier it's going to be to communicate with the chat, and then the more comfortable people are going to feel coming into your stream and making purchases, which means you're going to grow. If you do a 1 stream per month, you can be successful. It's just going to take longer than if someone's doing it a couple times a week.
I am going to try to. I know you made it 17 hours, right?
Yeah.
I want to figure out a way with our new partners how we can try, and obviously it's going to cost us babysitters, probably in shifts. But I want to try and do a 24-hour stream just to see if I can do it.
It was on my 40th birthday. I'm 41 now. I'll be 42 in October. And the 39 turning 40, I tried to do a 24-hour stream. Let me share why it didn't work. Because I was like on fire in the first 20 minutes. I was like, okay, this is going to be a marathon. I'm going to sprint as fast as I can in the first hour. I thought what was going to save me, that was back when you could not do auctions while you were doing giveaways.
Oh, yeah.
God. So like you'd have to do a giveaway and you'd have to wait the 5 minutes. You couldn't sell anything while the giveaway was going on. But I was like, oh, this is going to give me time to rest. But the longer I went, those 5 minute, they were like gone. They were going so quickly. And so throughout the night, it got a little squirrely and I made it 17 hours and then I couldn't hear anything anymore. And I was like, I should probably I should probably stop. I was just exuding way too much energy, and I wasn't pacing myself at all. That's why I didn't last.
Yeah. See, I'm gonna have to be like, I'll have my coffee and Celsius spaced out. As long as the chat keeps me engaged, I'll stay awake because I'm used to. I can stay awake. I just same thing like when the first time we went to Disney, we drove, and I was like, I like driving at night because there's less people on the road, and I'm just like, all right, I'm not gonna die. I'm not gonna die. I'm not gonna die.
Well, it's
um,
funny you say that because I didn't take my own advice during the stream, but we do long trips with the kids. And so Lindsay and I, my wife, we switch every 2 hours driving, and we could drive like 26 hours straight. We just every 2 hours we switch. Similar to if you're doing a longer stream, you want to figure out how to switch or have some kind of like little breaks in there.
Yeah, I won't let Stacy drive. I'm still mad that women got the right to vote in 1920. I'm still upset about that.
That sounds
No, I'm
like you
just
should
kidding.
drop some hot sauce. Let's drop
I'm
some
just
hot
kidding.
sauce right now. Number 8, baby. Let's go. Number 8 is on the board. Let's go.
No, guys. So somebody was asking about they can't keep people in their stream. I did see that you asked if it's your inventory or if it's your personality. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you so much, Jay Nichols. So what I was
Jay,
saying
thank you so much. Appreciate
is
you,
if you're
Jay. And that was
having
number 8. We only got 2 left, guys. We only got
We only
2
got two
left.
left, guys, and we got about 10 minutes left. If you're having problem keeping people in your stream, there's a lot of follow-up questions that I have in my brain. So one would be, are you listing everything that you're selling so people can pop in, they go to your store, they see every item that you have, and maybe they just don't like the items that you're running that day. That could be one. Number two, if you're doing randoms, you could just be popping in or people are just popping in. They're like, oh, all they're running is randoms. I have no idea what they're selling. Usually for that, you want to see how Ryan has his stuff in the background. If he was running a show right now and I popped in, I wouldn't need to ask him what he's selling. I can kind of see and figure it out and be like, okay, this is going to be like an outdoors hoodie style show. And I can decide if I want to stay. And then you can always kind of see what the chat's asking, like more North Face, more Patagonia. Then I can kind of figure it out, process of elimination. Um, those are the only
Yeah.
two things I can really think of. Or your start prices are too high. You might have $15 start prices, and people are just like on whatnot. People aren't used to that if it's a
Yeah.
used item.
Harley, I like your question.
You,
How do I my stats say people are coming in and out? This is important to understand. Most people on every single stream just go in and out. Harley. So like what you're seeing is the normal for this marketplace. Um, we use little phrases here and there, little one sentences that we repeat over and over. Everything's brand new with tagged. We'll do that every couple minutes. So as people are popping in and out, they know. We'll say, let us know what size you're looking for. We carry Nike, Patagonia, North Face, Carhartt. I'll just trickle these little one sentence things out. Now, if someone's staying in there for 10 minutes straight, they're going to hear me say that a bunch. But the reality is, Harley and everyone that's listening, that's what people do. That's how I'm popping into someone's stream. I'll say what's up to Chris. I'll say, hey, how we doing? Have a good stream. I'll buy some of the nugs, and then I'll pop back out. I'll pop into another stream. It's just the nature. So
yeah,
having these little one sentence. Now, of course, there'll be some people that will stay in your stream, but it's usually less than 20% of the people are just staying there the whole entire time. So pat yourself on the back, knowing that that's like the norm.
yeah. There's always going to be people popping in, and honestly, if you're a newer seller, that is your time to like build your following and build loyal customers because you have the ability every time you see somebody join to welcome them. Whereas,
Yeah.
like, once you start having 80, 160, people are going to be popping in so fast, you can't stop your show and be like, welcome in, blah, 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 blah. So you just train it in your head every 15, every half hour. You just say the same sentence over and over. All right, guys. Again, if you're just tuning in, we sell. Check the show notes. We are selling live from blah blah blah. This is what we got today. You just every 30 minutes, you say the same line. Your regular people are used to hearing it, but it's just part of the sale. It's like a sales pitch. If you walk into a car dealership or anywhere else, everybody's got the same. You walk into a Chipotle. Welcome to Chipotle. They always say, what do they say at Chick-fil-A? I don't eat that garbage, but what do they say? My pleasure.
Yeah. And I want to You said check the show notes. That's an easy way to save some breath
Yep.
too. Check the show notes and you can put a lot of really great information.
Well, not only are people's attention span on this app wild, just in general in humanity, ever since we've all got the doom scrolling thing. And then you can, what I like to do, my personal best way to use Whatnot as a buyer is I stack the shows that I want to go into. I pop into them, I put my pre bids on everything, and then I just bounce and I'm out. I don't have to stay in the stream. And now I've got pre bids on 10 people's shows, and I just wait to see if I win it.
Yeah. Around the world, drive safe, my friend. Appreciate you popping in.
Guys, we got 2 more bottles. Here you go. This is the 9th
The
bottle.
9th out of 10. We only have 10 bottles. The secret sauce is up for grabs. Number 9.
Someone's gonna get a deal on this one. It looks like.
Number
Uh-oh.
9 is on the board. This is the official launch of the secret sauce mango habanero. It's a 7 out of 10. Heat.
I know you didn't. 3 Gins grabbing it. Thank you so much. I know you didn't ask me. Whoever asked about Ryan doing YouTube again, but it's hard to stream 15, 20 hours a week on here and then still have the brain power to make content. Now, short form is the way I'm probably gonna try and change it up. Chat GPT and my brain is who made the bottle.
Legendary. Legendary. At 3Gen, thank you so much for your purchase. Really do appreciate it. Guys, we only have one left. We only have one left. Yeah, we love doing YouTube when we first started. We still enjoy it. It's just not in the top 10 things of that's a priority in our world right now. And I actually love this type of content where you and I get to chop it up and talk to each other and then interact with the chat, as opposed to creating a video and then posting it. We post as much as we can on Instagram, and we may get into YouTube again in the future, but it's just not in the top 10 of priorities right now.
One thing that I've noticed about myself is I actually enjoy the live aspect more because I can, if someone asks me a question, I can answer it immediately. Whereas I'll have to go back and check like every 2 days on YouTube and see if somebody commented because I don't have notifications on anything, or my phone
Yeah.
would just never stop. So I like the live format. I love doing like podcast style as well. We can chop it up with people, chop it up with ourselves. We can also go back. People can rewatch it. Um, we are going to have a secret sauce YouTube where all of this will be multicasted. I'm in a fight right now with YouTube because it's a new account, so it won't let you post videos longer than 15 minutes. So I'm trying
Oh,
to get that extended because I've already gone and I've saved all the past episodes, and when I try to upload them, it says that we only have a 15-minute because it's a new account. So I'm
got it.
trying to bypass that. So for now, they're on Flip the World, but they will be moving to their own secret sauce podcast. Thank you. At what point did you say that you were done with the online stores and just focused on Whatnot? For us, it took about 5 months, and then Stacy was like, "We should just go all in on this," and I was like, "You think?" And she's like, "That's what I do best." And I was like, "Okay."
Boom.
Um,
I think for us, we were full time on Poshmark, and then when we started doing Whatnot, we would still list everything on Poshmark and then run some streams. I won't give you a time frame, but I will say we had a number in mind that helped us decide to go full time on Whatnot. When we were making more in 1 hour of streaming on Whatnot than we would all day on Poshmark, we said we're gonna make the transition because then we'd only have to stream for 1 hour to get this better results than having everything listed. Because the idea is, if you're not streaming, you're not making money. And we
yep.
didn't, we weren't confident in our ability to support ourselves in the beginning, so we made the transition following and tracking that number. Of course, in the beginning when we were doing it, we were not making more in 1 hour than we were having all the stuff listed on Poshmark. But eventually, after lots of different streams and trial and error, we were, and we said, all right, let's do full time on Whatnot.
See, that would be the correct answer. When this platform is making more money than your other current big platform, that's a good transition. Mine was I hated listing 40
Yeah.
items, taking 40 photographs, listing 40 items every day, 40 listings, 40 pictures, I hated it. So
Yeah, it's
as
crazy.
soon as she was just like, "Hey, you don't want to do that anymore? Let's just do this." I was like, "Okay, we'll figure it out." Anything to make me not go back to the photographs and listings.
Harley,
Um,
I haven't used it. I think there is an integration tool where you can take listings from from Posh and put them on Whatnot.
yeah,
I
but
think there is.
I think it's only for Posh. I don't think they allow eBay yet. They're trying to figure out a way to make all of them integrate to marketplace. But that is one thing I was going to start doing, guys. I'm going to say for future secret sauces, I am going to start going through the. I don't like the Discord. I'm not a tech person, so the Discord I get confused. But I am going to start going through the weekly update letter email I get, and then we can start talking about some of the new things on there. Like you were talking to me about the spin feature or whatever it is.
Yeah. I actually forgot what they're calling it now. It's, you know what it is? The more I look at it, it's Whatnot's new version of the mystery game.
Yeah,
But
you
but
can't say
they
the word mystery anymore, so they
yeah.
created it. It's surprise set or something like that.
Yeah. Yep. It's, and I'm drawing a blank now. We'll talk about it on the next one because we got to do more research. It's, yeah, you basically set up 500 items that anyone can see what they are, and then you'll get one of those items that, oh my god, last one is on the
Speak,
board, baby.
speaking of surprises,
I love it. I love it. Great questions, Harley. Guys, this is the last bottle of the first batch of secret sauce hot sauce. This is the last one. There's no more after this until we
yep,
get the next batch.
you guys are so awesome. Thank you. Also, I love giving newer people flowers, guys. I talked. Hey, thank you so much.
Oh,
That's the
B.
case, guys. That's a case.
Oh, B and
Um,
Ray.
Harley's been asking a lot of questions in here, guys, but the reason she's asking questions is because she's taking notes and she's applying them. She's had 3 shows. She's 105 years old. She's had 3 shows, and in those 3 shows, she's gone 2 hours each show. First show, she did 74 items. Second show, she did 71 items. And the last show, 114 items. She doesn't have a large following, but she's applying the stuff she's learning and she's making it work. And she's selling the thing I hate more than anything on the planet. She's selling plush.
Crushing it.
So it is doable. We're not just talking out of our behinds. There are people on here all the time. I mean, we have lists of people. Like Opal Hanger was one of the first people that reached out to us. We gave our information, gave them notes, and then they did 140K their first year. There's lots of people on here that are killing it. And that's why I like talking. I like giving out all this advice for free because I know if you just put in the work, you're going to see the results and be like, oh my God, I didn't have to pay for a course. I got it for free. And
Boom.
that's what the whole aspect of the community is about. And speaking of community, guys, thank you so much for purchasing the first batch. We are going to double this money down, get more behind the scenes. Apparently, we're going to be in the stores now, y'all. So we got some things coming.
Guys, secret sauce is going to be on retail shelves, but don't worry, you can buy it right here. You guys are absolutely amazing. I know it's about time to wrap it up. If you guys have, we're going to do this every 2 weeks. We bounce between the Flip the World TX, so make sure you're following Flip the World TX, and then we do every other episode. We bounce between our channel and your channel. Oh my dear Lord, I can't wait till mine hits.
That was a big pull. Yes, you guys, you can.
I love it. I love
You
it.
can rewatch this. It's going to be on Flip the World YouTube. Look, I'm already sweating. Flip the World YouTube. I'm going to change the title for whatever reason. It's called Bins from Home. I'm going to change that. I don't know why it's not syncing, but it'll be on there. I've seen it recording this whole time.
Love it, dude. It's always a pleasure. Thank you guys, everyone, for showing up. Thank you for believing in the secret sauce, the official secret sauce. Riddlebug, shout out. You're the Hall of Famer. You bought the very first bottle. Thank you, everyone else who bought the bottle. Chris, Stacy, whole fam over there. Have an amazing day. Always
Same
love
to you,
chopping it
sir.
up with you guys.
You guys are awesome. Peace.
We'll talk soon.